We're back with the short track racing here in the Gatorade Cup Series, this time at Iowa, for the Advanced Auto Parts 400, the 7/8 mile short track under the lights for our next Gatorade Cup Series race. On the pole is the 6 of Carson Bowers, 2 is outside of the 37 of Colton Yo. Then 30 of James Tablio, 4th, Justin Zidell, and Steve Morgan rounds out the top 5. Then 60 of Code Luigi, 7th is John Gammett, Dale Lightning in 8th. Then 90 of Max Anderson, and Sebastian Kuklan rounds out the top 10. The rest of the field is Johnny Gardner in the 43 with Jeff Bright in the 5. They have Steven Taylor and Nathan Stapleton, 2 teammates. Then there's Benny Watson and Jake Jefferson, TJ Hanley and Isaac Nichols. They have Jonathan Rains and Taylor Bryan Price, Jack Marshall and Larry Boucher Jr. They have Carter Friesen and points leader Luigi Octavo. And then Derek Hamill and Eli Bright, Danny Lloyd and Tyler Fink. They have Griffin Lynn and Jonathan Buford, Diego Yepez and Luke Rainey. Then there's Patrick Smith and Trey Rainey, Joe Jefferson and Mac Johnson. They have Steve Larker and Alexander Rowe, Stephen Baker and Jake Galloway. And in the final row, Riley Sampson second in points, starting in the 41st position. Starting in 42nd, the 14 of Jake West. So as report to Car Starting Lab here at Iowa, let's get down to it with the starting command.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Settle in, relax, take a deep breath. It's a long, hard race. Gotta pace yourself.
And the field forward to cars fires up and rolls off here to get set for the Advanced Auto Parts 400. Short track racing, again, the Gatorade Cup Series 3rd straight short track race. The final of the short track swing. This season we'll have some more later in the season though. So Carson Bowers on poles for 60 laps. Here at Iowa, can you hold on win? Will someone from the back come up and try and get it? Pace cars in. Bowers has control of the start of this race. He gets into the restart zone. We're racing here at Iowa. Bowers went at the racetrack. Yo got tight, could take advantage of it though. They come off of 4. Lap 1 will be led by the 6 of Carson Bowers from the pole. Stablio gets this second, and Colton Yo falling back in the outside. Here at Iowa, we're going to want to be on the inside lane like most tracks, but the outside can work if the inside gets clogged up. So just look for that to maybe take into play later in this race. Steve Morgan now to the inside for second. He's trying to pass James Stablio. He's trying to get clear right here. He's pushing up. Maybe pushing that temp up the track just a little bit there to get a better run. He does get clear. He's up to second. As Carson Bowers pulls away, he's trying to get out and lead all 60 laps and get to victory lane. That might not happen though, as Iowa's usually a very, very interesting and a pretty good race as well. Colton Yo started second, fell back on the outside lane, but now he's going back for a second. He gets back to the inside. Steve Morgan, maybe some contact here as they come off of 4. A little tight for that 37 car. And John Gammett going 3 wide to the bottom lane. 2 Chevys, 1 Toyota and a Bell. 3 wide for second. Gammett has the inside lane, the preferred lane. They all slide up the track. Morgan almost up into the wall, but John Gammett takes advantage to clear for the race, or for second, excuse me. Here comes Johnny Gardner in the 43s, going for 3rd. There's Max Harrison, Steven Taylor, and some others coming up behind him. And now that 77 clear, we're going to see how fast he can run down that 6 car, if he can even run down Carson Bowers. Being clear, though, that's a big advantage when you're trying to run someone down. If you don't have anyone trying to battle with you, you're not going to be able to get past, and looks like Gambett's catching up to that 6 just a little bit. They run pretty identical lanes. 77 maybe just a little bit lower, and that might be helping them get off the corners a little bit better there. Teammates battle for 4th. Yo up top, Anderson down low. They have some pretty identical looking cars there. It's a little confusing. That's for the 4th position, 4th and 5th, and here comes Jeff Bright in the 5s. Looking up ahead. Bowers went way at the racetrack, and to the front, it's John Gammett in the 77 with the race lead now. Watch, he goes up high though. Here comes that 6 of Bowers right back to the inside. Bowers, big run. Gets beside that 77, almost some bumping and banging as they come off of 4. And out this side-by-side for the race lead. 3rd on back is going to run down. Here comes Max Anderson on the 47. Jeff Bright in the 5. Dale Lightning in the 51. All coming up here on the inside lane. Anderson has gotten clear for 3rd. Here he is right onto the back of these 2. Maybe looking to the inside for 2nd right here. So come off of 4. Couldn't quite get there, but he's right on the bumper of the 77 of Gambit. Get Jeff Bright down low for 4th. Has Dale Lightning behind him in the 51. So up front, Ford, Toyota, Chevy. They're going to be the front 5 once Dale Lightning gets by Johnny Gardner. As look at Bowers trying to hold off Gammett, but here comes Gammett to the inside in that 77. Tight there, couldn't stay beside. Bowers keeps that race lead. Great job there by that 6. Comes Dale Lightning for 4th. It's up ahead, John Gammett down lower, 6 up the track. Gambit back out front here at Iowa. And Max Anderson going to try and get to second right here in the 47 car. His teammate Colton Yo has gotten down to the inside, trying to move his way up as well. Dale Lightning looking to take it 3 wide for second. That 51 car with a big run to the bottom lane. Gambit goes way up the track, almost into the wall, and they're going to be 3 wide for the race lead. Anderson through the middle, trying to get clear. Got a big run. Can Dale Lightning use the bottom, though, to his advantage? Contact for the race lead. Anderson and Dale Lightning rubbing and banging. Dale Lightning gets away with the race lead in the 51. They're 3 wide behind Colton Yo to the bottom of the 77 and the 6. What a move by Dale Lightning. What a move by Colton Yo to get up here inside the top 3. He won the truck race a few days ago, trying to get to victory lane in the Gatorade Cup Series in that number 37 car. And he's to second bound with his teammate Max Anderson. Colton Yo clears Anderson. Now he has to try and run down fellow Chevrolet driver Dale Lightning in the 51. Carson Bowers coming back up to the front. That pole-sitting car right now is, close there. Max Anderson and John Gambit making some contact. Gambit almost overdrove the corner up into that 47. They're acting crazy here at the front. Some great racing. For second, Bowers, the pole-sitting car, pole-sitting driver, trying to get back up to that number 1 position. He's going to grab second right here down the backstretch. He's trying to grab it. Colton will hang tough on the outside lane, but I think Bowers get clear right here. 6 car looks pretty strong right now. He's back up to second. We're going to take a look at where your points leader is, the 83 Luigi Octavo. He got caught on the outside. He may have gotten to the wall. Some pretty big damage there for Octavo. And he's back in the 30s with Derek Hamill also has damage. Some of these guys got some damage. I don't know if it's hitting the wall. Maybe they got contact together. And we're going to look for Riley Sampson, who was second in points coming into the race. He's right now bound for 29th with Jake Galloway's right now currently 28th. Some great racing here back here, but pack is definitely spread out. So I'm wondering if a car maybe got into the wall like the 83 or something like that, and it may have log jammed everyone up, and some cars got away that were on the bottom, others could not. Look back up to the front. Bowers beside Dale Lightning as they come off of 4. Side by side up front. 2 cars break away. 3rd and 4th are Steve Morgan and Steven Taylor. 5th is now TJ Hanley in the 23 car. And Hanley's been falling in points. Caution's out. Caution number 1 is out, and it's for Tyler Fink in the 21, and maybe even Steve Larker in the 75. Racing back, Bowers trying to keep it over Dale Lightning. Lightning trying to take it back. Here they come to the stripe to lead them to yellow. Bowers, by a nose, leads us back to the caution flag. Now we'll see pit stops, probably, most likely. Although we may be too early in the race. We'll have to see here. Dale Lightning describes he's good. Yeah, some of these guys are saying, hey, I'm going to be number 1 entering the pits, and they're going to go right ahead and get down pit road in front. So Dale Lightning saying, Carson Bowers, you waited too long. I'm going to take this number 1 position. Cole Luigi gained a spot over TJ Hanley and some others. I think Hanley may have gained a spot as well. So Tyler Fink involved to bring out caution number 1. Everyone's coming down pit road. They think they can make it from here on field, and they probably can, as I believe you could probably go at least 40 laps on a tank, even more. So I think these guys should be good to the end, but we'll see. Maybe they're just on the edge. Now, if they put 4 tires on it, they know you're just on the edge. If they put 2, they think they can definitely make it. Two tires, Dale Lightning. Out and away. That's close. I don't know if Bowers beat Lightning off or not. But everyone with 2 tire changes here at the front. And it's a log jam coming off of pit road with these 2 tire changes. So Dale Lightning out in front off of pit road. All right, I think they're going to give it to Carson Bowers there. I think he did beat him to the line there. So let's see what happened to Tyler Fink to bring out caution number 1. 21 cars all torn up. Racing off of turn number 4, the 75 Steve Larker is outside of the 21 of Tyler Fink, and Fink just keeps coming up, and Larker has no more room to get hooked together, and into the wall they will both go. 75 up off the ground a little bit, 21 goes around. Stephen Baker does make slight contact, but keeps it going straight, and it's only those 2 cars that got significant damage from this. The rest drive on by in the bottom lane and keep it going straight. So that's why caution was called. A 2-car incident here as they came off of turn number 4, battling just outside the top 20, Tyler Fink and Steve Larker into the turn 4 wall hard. It leads with Carson Bowers back, then Dale Lightning took the lead, and then Bowers led them off of pit road. So Carson Bowers will be your race here once we get back to the green flag in the Advanced All Parts 400 at Iowa. Coming back green with 40 laps to go. Out from that crash, Steve Larker in the 75. We still have 41 cars left in the race. Carson Bowers is out front for this restart. In second, we have Dale Lightning, Steve Morgan in third, Cole Luigi up to fourth, and Colton Yo is fifth. They have Steven Taylor in sixth, TJ Hanley 7th, Jeff Bryant 8th, Nathan Stapleton 9th, and John Gammett rounds out the top 10. Big sigh of relief for some of the drivers that may have fallen off the pace because of what may have happened between some cars that got into the wall. Those drivers back up into it as everyone back up into contention. Green flag back out, 40 laps to go. Bowers with the race lead, but he goes up the track in 1 and 2. Dale Lang a little bit lower. He's going to look to the bottom of that 6 as they come down the backstretch. A little tight there. Try and make it stick down into turn 3. Buries it to the bottom. Look at Steve Morgan coming in the 13. Morgan with a good run as they come down the front stretch. Lightning leads. Morgan to the bottom. Cole Luigi with them. Colton Yo with him. I see about 4 different lanes that were used in just turn 1 and 2 right there. Morgan, Luigi, Dale Lightning might go 3 off into turn number 3 for the race lead. Here comes Cole Luigi in the 42 to the bottom. Oh, contact Lightning in the 51. Into the wall hard. We keep it straight with Carson Bowers and Colton Yo. We're still racing though. Lightning was completely sideways, but the damage to that 51 is severe. He's going to be falling back through the field most likely. Big contact for the 51 as they came off of 4. It allows 2 cars to pull away, Cole Luigi and Steve Morgan. As 3rd, 4th, and 5th made hard contact. Cole Luigi leads, Steve Morgan 2nd. 3rd place now TJ Hanley. 4th is about between Taylor, Bright, Stapleton, and some others. There's Dale Lightning still fitting on the outside with Carson Bowers. See if Bowers' car, how good it is. If you get down line right here and see how it is. Looks like Bowers should be fine. I don't really see much damage to that 6 car, but Dale Lightning, that car's all torn up. There's Sampson. He gained a ton of spots on pit road in the 18 car. Currently up inside the top 15. That's 2nd in points coming into the day. Your points leader, Octavio. Remember, he had damage. He still has that damage. He's back in 32nd position. And would lose a ton of points. There's Carter Friesen coming off and on pit road. Alexander Rowe with damage as well. Up front, these two have been battling. Morgan and Luigi. It's allowed TJ Hanley to close in the 23 car. Right here, Cole Luigi back out front here. These guys are going to be exchanging the lead so much that Hanley, Stapleton, and the others are going to close in. It's going to be back up for the top 10. They're going to be battling. Nichols trying to take a top 10 spot from Yo. Yo also got into the wall in that 3-wide mess that we had come off of 4 with Dale Lightning and some others. But Sebastian Kuklon, he's won 2 races already this season. He's looking to add a 3rd one in just a few races. Very interesting if he could get that done. He's up inside the top 10. As looking up front, Morgan and Cole Luigi making some contact. Hanley looking to the inside, both of them. Hanley also won this season at All Club. Yeah, his 2nd win this season. A lot of these drivers up here, though, looking for their 1st of the season. Morgan, Luigi, Stapleton. Kuklon looking for his 3rd. There's John Gammett coming up to the front. Nichols and Jeff Bright, 2 teammates, are side by side. Riley Sampson, 2nd in points, would love a victory. Look at Stapleton taking it to the bottom of that 13 in the 4-2. The yellow is back out as Hanley leads us back to the caution flag. Crashed down the backstretch, and it looks like it might have been Danny Lloyd and Luke Rainey. They're bound at the back of the field, and they make some contact, and the yellow is out. Caution number 2. Hanley leads us back, and we'll see what happens to these 2 drivers bringing out the caution. I think some tempers are flaring here. It looks like Octavio in the A3 may have done something to Danny Lloyd a few laps earlier that made Lloyd a little ticked off. He chases the A3 up the track, and it looks like he's trying to put him in the wall right here. And he doesn't really succeed on, well, he does succeed on doing that as he gets into the wall right here there as they come off 2, but it spins the 19th round. Luke Rainey, just an innocent bystander, sees that happening and just plows in with nowhere to go. Rainey goes around. Fink does a great job missing that 2 car. But tough break for Luke Rainey. He was really not involved in what was happening, and he was top 5 in points coming into the day. Luigi Octavio was your points leader, and gotta know that's going to change. At least the 2's going to change. I don't know if the A3 can lose the points lead at this point, but Luke Rainey definitely might fall outside the top 5 now because of what happened, and Octavio's points lead is definitely going to shrink. So let's go on board with those 2 drivers. Luke Rainey's on board. And he really had just nowhere to go and all that. Now we'll go on board with Luigi Octavio in the A3. Your points leader, and he has even more damage now than what he had. I don't know if he pushed Lloyd up the track or something, bumped him out of the way or something, but Lloyd definitely took exception to it and wanted to show his displeasure with Octavio, and definitely did in a big way. chase him off the track and then put him in the wall. So back in front after that, TJ Hanley in the 23. They stay on the racetrack and will restart after halfway. The 23 car is out front looking for another win this season. Coming back green, lap number 33. No cars retired from that, but Alexander Rose a lap down, Carter Friesen 4 laps down. 39 cars on the lead lap, with TJ Hanley leading them. Steve Morgan in second, Nathan Stapleton third, Cole Luigi is fourth, Sebastian Kukulon in fifth. That is your top 5 for the restart. Lap number 33. TJ Hanley leads us to the green flag. A Toyota Camry has a few Chevrolets chasing him. Look at the jump he got though. Green flag back out, and Hanley did not want to let that 13 get close to him on this restart. He is gone. He's got that 13. And Morgan goes up the racetrack. And Stapleton taking advantage for a second as they come down the backstretch. Off into 3, some contact. Stapleton and Morgan. Morgan wet the track, saves the car. Cole Luigi grabs third and he has a run into Stapleton for a second. Here comes that 27's teammate, Sebastian Kukulon, up inside the top 5, up to 4th. You don't think he wants his 3rd win of the season? Look how hard he's driving inside this top 5. Cole Luigi wants to get to victory lane after a dismal start. Here he is bound for a second with Stapleton. And Stapleton just wants a Gatorade Cup Series victory on his resume. Look at Kukulon for 3rd. Hanley's gapped the field because they keep bound for 2nd. They get single filed out though. I believe they can definitely run down that 23 car in a hurry. Kukulon going for a second on his teammate Nathan Stapleton. Gets it down to the yellow line as they come down the backstretch. Still side by side. Off into 3. Some contact between the teammates. Up the track they go. Almost beating and banging. Cole Luigi's going to take advantage to the bottom. They're still banging. 3 wide for second. 3 Chevrolets. 2 teammates. And Cole Luigi's in the middle. They're like, calm down, boys. Calm down. Let me get by. Gets to second with John Gammett behind him. How about Isaac Nichols come up in the 48? Here he comes. He's in the top 10. He's going to go for a top 5. And for a second, Gammett and Cole Luigi are now side by side. This is what Hanley wants to keep seeing in his mirror. Battles, battles, battles. They keep battling. He could pull away and just win this race handily. But if they get single filed out at any point, look at how far that 42 went up the racetrack. Big time loss there for Cole Luigi. Trying to get down in front of Nichols. Couldn't quite get that done. 48 car underneath that 42. Kukulon falls back. Stapleton digging hard on the inside. Here comes Jack Marshall, last race winner at Martinsville. Up inside the top 10. Here's another RCR car. Taylor. This 31 team won at Iowa last season with Andrew Miller behind the wheel. So RCR knows how to get victory lane here. There's Nichols' teammate, Jeff Bryant, inside the top 10. We got a few teammates here. Anderson, and just behind him, Colton Young, the 37. Back there, Zidell and Benny Watson making some contact, rubbing. Jake Galloway started at the back of the field. He won the target race yesterday, and here he's up inside the top 15, it looks like now. He's up to 15th. Just past his teammate Zidell, and he's moving up towards the front. Watch out for Galloway if he can try and get up here at the end. Well, Hanley has gapped the field. He is gone. He's pulled a big lead over Stapleton, who's up to 2nd. Now it's almost a 2nd. 3rd is Nichols. Where does he come from? John Gammett's 4th, and Kukulon rounds out the top 5 in the 3 car. Last time by, the gap closes down to 8/10, but the 27 goes up the racetrack. They're going to be bound for 2nd again. Stapleton wet the track. Nichols digging hard in the bottom. He'll grab 2nd now. And we'll see they have 20 laps to get this sorted out. Contact for 3rd. Gambit, Stapleton, Kukulon in a big battle. Nichols wants to pull away from that. 20 laps to go. Nichols goes up the track. Here comes Gambit digging hard in the bottom. The gap once again back up. 9.5 tenths. It's a big battle for a second here. Hanley's loving it. They did close in a 10th that time, but if they keep out for a second like they are, they're going to be gaining one lap and then losing the next. They're going to lose what they gain. They need to get single file down. I think Gammett's trying to keep it that way, but that 48 just looks tight right now. It keeps going up the racetrack. Are they closing down the 23 though? Now the gap. It was 8.5 tenths. They've closed it down by 100th. Kukulon not waiting around. We keep talking about it. He wants his 3rd win of the season. To the bottom lane he goes for a 2nd. And Nichols' teammate Jeff Bright's come up in the 5 car. Passing John Gammett in the 77. They obviously are going to lose some time probably this time. It was 0.84. It's now 0.91. So they lost 700ths that time because Kukulon was getting by Isaac Nichols. But now if he can stay clear and keep it on that bottom lane, not get past, could run down TJ Hanley. It could be a battle between a few cars right here. Front 3 get clear. Pull away. Jeff Bright is bound for 4th with John Gambit still. And then 5th now, Stapleton trying to get underneath Gambit. Code Luigi is 7th. How about Max Harrison 8th, James Dablito 9th, and Jake Galloway has fought his way up inside the top 10. If he can keep it up here, that would be a great points day for him after a day where it didn't look like he was going to have a chance at a victory or a chance at even a top 15. He's up inside the top 10, so that's a great job there. So Kukulon's 2nd. They're trying to run down Hanley. Nichols is 3rd. Jeff Bright's 4th. Those are 2 teammates. Will they play nice? Gap. About 8.5 tenths again. The 3 goes up the racetrack. Meanwhile, up front, 15 laps to go, and TJ Hanley has put a gap. You can see the gap right there from the front stretch. Is ginormous. Is that Sampson on pit road? It is! The 18 cars on pit road. That was 2nd in points. We thought he was going to gain a ton of points on your points leader, Octavo. He might just fall outside that 2nd position in points now. Hanley, that gap keeping pretty consistent. Kukulon's not gaining or losing. If he gains just a little bit, he'll lose just that little bit the next lap. Unless a caution comes out, I think it's a done deal. Unless Nichols can get around Kukulon and then gain. It looked like they were doing better, actually, when that 48 was out in front of that 3. Here he comes to the bottom. Gap once again, stabilizing just around the same interval. But I believe if that 48 does get in front of that 3 and can stay in front of the 3, they can run down that 23. I don't know if that's going to be true or not, but we'll just see. They're coming to 12 laps to go. And in 12 laps, can Nichols make up the deficit? Hanley's lead this time down to under 8 tenths. But the 48 once again at the racetrack. The 3 going underneath again, and this battling is just not helping them out. Down the backstretch they come. They're still side by side for a second. They're losing time each time they do go side by side. Someone just has to get out here and then really pull away. They have to keep out for 3rd, and the person in 2nd just has to pull away here. Because the gap just went back up to over 8 tenths. Now can Stapleton stay behind his teammate in the 3? And think that maybe both of them could have a shot if they stay single file. We're coming to 10 laps to go. I don't see it happening unless the yellow comes out, but we never know what could happen. 10 laps left in the Advanced Auto Parts 400. The gap stabilizes right around 8.5 tenths. Stapleton with his teammate Kukulon. They're balanced side by side. Stapleton's trying to get by to try and run down Hanley. Jeff Bright's going for 3rd in the 5 car. Nichols is behind him. Could be going for 4th. Code Luigi's right now 6th. Max Harrison is 7th. 8th is Jay Jefferson. 9th, John Gambit. And James Dablito rounds out the top 10. Big battle here to be inside the top 10. There's a 7-car breakaway at the front. And they're bound for 2nd once again. Stapleton up the track. Jeff Bright underneath him. Jeff wants to try and lead this train around now and get up here. We're coming to 8 laps to go. They do not have much time. You can see Hanley way up there in the distance. The times show it. They run just about similar lap times. Jeff Bright did gain a little bit that time. He has to stay clear though. He can't have. They have to battle for 3rd, right? Like they're doing right here. Let Bright get a gap there to try and get away, and then try to run down. But I think he's far enough back now to where he won't get the draft. It's down to 9 tenths with 7 to go. You have to gain about 1/10 each lap. Even more than that, I just don't see it happening. Jeff once again up the racetrack. And Nichols going for 2nd. He's digging hard in the bottom. We're coming to see 6 to go. And it's all TJ Hanley at the front. No one has contested him. He got a great restart for Morgan. I think that's what's going to win him the race. If he goes on to win this race, he can go back and look at that restart where he got a great jump over Steve Morgan, and he never looked back once that happened. You can also thank his pit crew and whatnot for getting him a good pit stop, getting him out in a good enough time there. So at the front, a Toyota. Behind, Chevy, Toyota. And there's your first Ford in the 8th position. That's James Dablito. Sebastian Kukulon continuing to fall. He might fall outside the top 10 now. He's back to 9th. Bound for 10th with John Gambit. And 11th right there is Steven Taylor. That's his ticket outside the top 10. They are single file at the front. We'll have to see if Nichols can run down with Jeff Bright behind and Stapleton. I don't see it happening. I keep saying they have to gain a 2nd in 4 laps. I don't see that happening any way, shape, or form. And Hanley knows that the L comes out, the race is over, so he doesn't have to deal with another restart at this point. And the gap continues to keep growing. They keep bound for 2nd. Isaac Nichols up the track. Jeff Bright's teammate just trying to get every point he can now. And unless something happens to that 23, it's all TJ Hanley's race. He's come to see 3 to go. He's hoping that he has enough fuel in that car. He's hoping that the team did get enough fuel in that car. He's hoping he has no loose tires. He's hoping everything's fine with the engine. He's hoping He has nothing wrong with any of his tires. He'll bring home a second Gatorade Cup Series victory. Be his first multi-win season if he could get it done. Jeff Bright has moved to second in the 5. Nathan Stapleton has moved to third in the 27. Nichols kicked back to fourth, but clears Code Luigi. And that's going to be a battle for fifth. Luigi and Max Anderson are going to be bound to get... Oh, caution! That's the race! It's over! Hanley has just won. Rowe, Smith, Baker involved. And that will end it early. TJ Hanley will win the Advanced Auto Parts 400. Nichols, with some pretty heavy damage, he just has to keep it out there for just over a lap now and he'll win. Or he'll keep it out there and finish inside the top 5. Looks like he's just going to do that. Keep it out there and just finish it out. He has that side damage, but it doesn't matter. So another race ending under caution, but the white flag is out for TJ Hanley. He didn't even have to worry about ending it under the green flag. The yellow comes out and that ends it. 1 lap to go for the 23 car. And TJ put on a clinic. Once he got to the race lead, he never looked back. No one was ever going to be able to pass him once he got to that race lead. And that great restart just kind of ended it for anyone's hopes right there of being able to get by the 23. Once he pulled away from Morgan like he did, there was no looking back. Jeff Bright, a great points day, will be second. Stapleton third, Nichols fourth, and Code Luigi fifth. We talk about some rookies. Stapleton's not really a rookie, but he's newer to the series, and he's surrounded by a bunch of veterans. TJ Hanley in the 23, a 7-season Gatorade Cup Series veteran. Jeff Bright, 6-season veteran. There's Nichols. He's been around a pretty good amount of time. And Code Luigi, he's been around a pretty good amount of time. He's also a champion of the series, so he knows how to get it done. Stapleton's just in the middle of all these drivers in third. Like, some pretty big names to be around if you're Nathan Stapleton. But coming off of turn number 4, it's going to be TJ Hanley's Toyota to win for the second time this season. Second 2-time winner. In Season 7 of the Gatorade Cup Series, he'll join Sebastian Clown with the most victories this season. Hanley wins the Advanced Auto Parts 400 over Jeff Bright and a whole bunch of other Chevrolets. And with that, let's see how the final caution came out. Alexander Rowe, one of them involved, his day was done. So this is how it started. I believe the damage on the 34 may have just caused this. He starts blowing up on the front stretch. He gets slow. He's thinking, okay, I'll be fine right here. But then he kind of slows down. The 72 wasn't expecting, and then the 34 goes straight and hits the 96 hard. I'm wondering if that wasn't some sort of mechanical issue in the steering that may have happened with that 34, because he went straight off into the corner. He may have slammed the brakes knowing he was going straight. He was trying to turn it right there. So right there he's low, and the car kind of just goes straight right there. I don't know if it was because he got hit by the 72 or what, but tough break for those drivers all running at the back with some damage. They were not going to finish well anyways, and that just kind of put a nail in the coffin there. But then Rowe's trying to come across the racetrack, and he hits Nichols in the 48. Nichols almost crashes right here from the 4th position. So he almost hits Bright, and then he's trying to get down low, and Nichols kind of gets into him up into the wall hard. Luckily, he saves the car. Luckily, Code Luigi backed off, and they were able to finish the race fine. But it's TJ Hanley out front. For his second win of the season, he wins the Advanced Auto Parts 400. Let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finish results from the Advanced Auto Parts 400 at Iowa. There are 3 caution flags for 10 laps and 13 lead changes among 6 different drivers. TJ Hanley led more than half the race here tonight, 33 of the 60 laps, and he gets the victory lane over Jeff Bright, who ends up second, Nathan Stapleton in third, Isaac Nichols in fourth, and Code Luigi with another top 5 finish. They have Max Anderson in 6th, James Dablio in 7th, John Gambit 8th, Jay Jefferson up to 9th, and Sebastian Cookline rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. Talk about coming from the back to the front. Jake West started 42nd, he ends up 13th. Jake Galloway ends up 14th after starting 40th. Those two put on a whale of a performance getting up to the front. Joe Jefferson started 36th, he ends up 16th. That's another great recovery there. Mac Johnson up inside the top 20 after starting 35th. It's not too shabby for some of those drivers. 26 cars finished it on the lead lap. Carson Bowers, your pole sitter, got some damage with that incident with Dale Lightning. Falls to 30th for that damage after leading 11 laps. Dale Lightning led 8 laps, but he falls down to 32nd after that contact. And you can see right there, 37 cars finished the race running as the rest out. Riley Sampson had no fuel in that car, so that's why he retired. That's a very interesting thing that happened there. Let's go look at the point standings. Here are points. As we exit the short track swing in the Gatorade Cup Series, Luigi Octavo holds the points lead. It's down to 129 points, so it's still a pretty big points lead. It was about 170, so they gained 50 points. Kukulon is now up to second. TJ Hanley is third, so those two have 2 wins this season. They're second and third in points. Max Harrison is just behind them in fourth, and Nathan Stapleton, up inside the top 5. They have Jeff Bright up to 6th, Luke Rainey down to 7th, Riley Sampson from 2nd to 8th, Carter Friesen down to 9th, and Trey Rainey joins drivers in the chase with the top 10 points. There's your top 20. Larry Bouchard Jr. has fallen ever since his Daytona win, down to 18th. He has to keep it, remember, in the top 20 to use that win as a wild card spot. Right now, he currently has one, along with Taylor Bryan Price, but still tons of time left. How about some of these drivers that are just moving up inside the top 20? Jake Galloway up to 15th. Cole Luigi up to 19th. Some of these drivers rebounding after their bad starts of the season. Look down 21st to 40th. Jay Jefferson, how about him moving up? Max Johnson starting to move up just a little bit. Danny Lloyd's 22nd. He's fallen just a little bit. Look at the rest. Drivers down here, Eli Bright, Derek Hamill, Jonathan Rains, Benny Watson. They're looking to turn their seasons around as we exit the short track string. Still only 7 races in, so anything could still happen. Someone could be 40th like Eli Bright points. They can make the chase. So we'll see what happens at the next race, which will be at Kansas for the 5-hour Energy 400. I'll see you guys then.